Indiana Jones, Indiana It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones, Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute, the podcast in which we get to the heart of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Jerry Porter.
And joining us again today is our friend and Indian restaurateur, Jay. Welcome back, Jay.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're sorry we have to keep stuffing you with all this disgusting food, but somebody's got to eat it, and we're sorry. But we're here to talk about minute 45, and minute 45 begins with Chattar Lal schooling Indy on his manners, and ends with him reminding Indy of the time he was accused of being a grave robber in Honduras. And one thing I noticed as we're doing all these, and it makes me a little bit sad, ring the sad bell, please. The beginning and end of each of these minutes is only Indy and Chattar Lal kind of doing their mental toe-to-toe stuff, having these tense, dramatic conversations with zero mention of any Willie and Shorty barfing in hats or anything. And I'm picturing a different movie.
Yeah.
But I think Chattar Lal here is really showing some great leadership. Like, he's drawing Indy out to figure out just how much he knows, and he's being kind of cagey here, and he's trying to figure out, like, does he know about the kids or does he only know about the Sankara stones?
Yeah. Blumbert's like, so what exactly was stolen? And I'm actually almost surprised that Indy's like, oh, a bunch of kids and a rock, and, you know, do you have a bunch of kids in here, like, that we don't know about, you know? And I like Chattar Lal's, he hears that it's just like a rock. Which, by the way, Christy was making fun of me for saying rock instead of stone. But Indiana Jones himself, the star of the movie, Harrison Ford, just said rock. And he said Shankara again. I'm keeping track of this.
Well, I think he says, but Chattar Lal says rocks, but he's saying it to be dismissive.
Yeah, he's kind of scoffing
Right.
when he says it.
He is.
Which
I love, though. He's like, a rock.
I think maybe this does more to call Indiana Jones's qualifications into question than anything else.
Yeah, right. Maybe he's like, did you hear what he just called the Sankara stone? He called it a rock. Here, this one right here, the one that I Oh.
Well, I think what's frustrating for me is in this scene, you see, like, Indy, you know, interrogating Chattar Lal, and he's, you know, doing it righteously, and Chattar Lal is, you know, I mean, he's actually going toe-to-toe. He's a great counter-puncher here. But he's clearly set up to be like, oh, he's hiding something, and he's the bad guy. And then Blumbert's going to be the like, oh, this is interesting. Let me pay more attention to what, you know, Indy's accusations. And it's just kind of clumsy because you just think like, all right, let's just go into the basement of this place and get this whole thing over with in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Which one of these lamps opens up the secret passage? Let's get down to it.
We don't need the mine cars. We don't need to rip hearts out. It's like, you know, we're just one beetle away from solving the whole thing.
Yeah. The world's first 45-minute blockbuster.
Well, you know who's already bored? If you look at the end of the table, the Maharaja is just kind of sitting there, like, just completely bored. Like he's
been bored the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, he's really bored. Yeah. Little punk.
Yeah. Sit up straight, little bastard.
I just want to throw this out there because I don't know if this is me or do you guys remember that soup is supposed to be sheep's eyeball soup?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I've heard that too.
Okay, you've heard that. And Jay, care to weigh in?
These look like human eyes to me.
I mean, you would know, right? I mean, like when you make your eyeball soup at your restaurant, you know, you're familiar with the size and the shape and everything, right?
Would you find that most people prefer them al dente or a little bit more tender?
I'm actually thinking about the reality of this all of a sudden. It's a little upsetting.
You know, it's kind of interesting because they're barely cooked. And you know what's really strange about the eyeball soup here is first of all, it's just broth and eyeballs. And I'm thinking to myself, like, all right, this is a traditional Indian cuisine thing. I mean, it should have celery, maybe some okra, cauliflower. Like, I mean, any soup that you get, it has usually other things other than just broth and eyeball. Some nice vegetables.
Yeah.
And curry powder.
Yeah. They do a little bit of flesh still attached at the edges of them, though, Jared. There's a little bit.
Yeah, there's some meat in there.
Yeah.
You know, if you look this up on the awful Indiana Jones Nerdopedia or whatever that stuff is.
I think that's literally what it's called.
They specifically call this soup of the head. And they say, they do apparently, somewhere it's, canonical, it's soup of the head. And they say it's sheep's eyeballs with also sheep head mixed in.
Oh, God.
But I don't see any sheep head. I just see eyeballs.
Yeah.
But you know what's the most fascinating thing about this soup, actually, is when she lifts off the lid and before she sees the eyeballs, she takes she wafts the smell of it and she seems really into it. It seems like it smells delicious. And she's only freaked out when she sees that it's filled with eyeballs, which is understandable. But I'm kind of fascinated that it also smells good, apparently.
Well, this is another one of those instances straight out of a silent, like a Buster Keaton or a Harold Lloyd movie, where she asks for soup so earnestly just for this laugh.
Right.
So normally someone wouldn't say, like, do you have something simple like soup? Like, the way she says it, it's
Right.
just like setting up the piano to fall on somebody.
Yeah.
Which I think is hilarious.
What's interesting, though, is as you said, Tom, when they pull the lid off the soup cauldron there, it is steaming, and so you think, well, it's probably boiling, and then I think if it's boiling, those eyeballs would burst.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't they?
Well, maybe it's just been simmering for a long time or something.
I guess.
Like at just the right temperature.
I was just thinking about the scene. This is the first time when I watched this movie with my wife. She was looking at that scene, and she literally jumped out of the couch when she saw that scene. She's like, "Who eats that?" I'm like, "Well, supposedly it's us." I just remember that. She's like, oh. And she literally got up and left. I mean, she's like, "I'm not watching this anymore."
I know the feeling.
I could see you'd be like, "Oh, wait! There's like a minecart chase, and
Yeah.
it gets better."
They went to a lot of trouble with this too. They had a lot of trouble filming this. Like I know they had trouble getting the eyeballs to come up when she scraped the bottom of the bowl, and I think they ended up using chewing gum. So like when she hit the gum, they would kind of float up like that.
Somebody told us that, but I can't remember who now.
Well, I remember Jonathan told us that.
I was going to say, okay.
maybe,
Yeah.
He mentions that they had to like stick or glue the eyeballs to the bottom of the bowl.
That's crazy.
There is a really nice, like, there's a little side dish here next to the eyeball soup with like some really nice little red peppers or something.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
That's probably a spleen or something. It's probably,
yeah.
You know, I had a question for our guest, Jay. Is there any Indian cuisine that you actually don't like?
Oh, interesting.
Lot of me in particular, or like in Indians in general.
Well, either. I mean, you in particular, I guess. Is there anything that you're just like, God, it's like liver and beets? I hate it.
You know, I'm a foodie, so I like all kinds of food that are like cooked properly. But like okra, this thing is slimy, and I just don't get it. People love it, and the texture just drives me nuts. I mean, put it in my mind. I mean, and Indian people, they love it. I mean, at my restaurant, it's probably one of the most popular vegetable dish. But I'm like, no. Some people ask me, how is your okra? I'm like, it's horrible. I'm like, why do you have it on the menu? I'm like, because everyone else loves it. I just hate it.
It's here for the weirdos.
I think it's probably because, like, you know, it's a vegetable, and my mom used to cook it when I was a child, and like, eat this, and they make you force you to eat it, you know, and then you grow up like hating this thing forever.
Oh, sure.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah.
But I also don't like anything crunchy, like too crunchy, like
Beetles.
Crab. Beetles,
yeah,
crabs,
eyeballs,
any crustaceans. It's like kind of like, oh, not my thing.
Huh. I don't like lettuce on a hamburger.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yes, I specifically don't like
The
lettuce
texture?
on a hamburger. I like lettuce fine, and I love hamburgers, but together there's something gross about it. Something happened to me as a kid. I don't know what.
I do give Willie and Short Round credit that they are in this movie eternal optimists. Like even after all these horrible dishes come out, they're still standing there with their spoons in their hands, like they're just beaming, waiting for the soup to come out. And that's hope. You know, that's a nice infectious joy and optimism in what life is about to bring them.
It's beautiful.
That's
Or
good.
it's just sad desperation. I don't know which. But either way, it's great.
Actually, I got this comment from Professor Christy Porter.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. She has 2 comments here. And this one is for the big money. It's, she said, ungulate peepers for 500, Alex. What shape are the irises and pupils in the soup? And
What
they're round.
shape?
They're
completely
round.
They're round.
They're completely round. And she said, aha!
There you go.
But we know that ungulates, like goat and sheep and horses and all that, their irises are rectangular.
Is that true?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Yes. So,
Wow.
yeah, she was all in a tizzy about that. So,
That's weird.
oh, and she did have one other note. Quote, Indy is acting like a total... Yeah, she kept it classy there.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a pure
So-
Porterism, though, I gotta say.
Well, at the end of this minute, we talk about grave robbing in Honduras, right? Indy's accused of...
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's interesting is he, like, immediately retreats. And recoils, right?
He finally went too far and he got spanked down.
Yeah, immediately recoils. He's like, oh, well, not, you know.
We're not talking about Honduras. Come on.
And I guarantee it's going to be one of those, like, Indiana Jones and the... It's like
Yeah.
Mad Libs. Fill it in, Tom. And
Yeah, the peacock's complaint. I don't know.
Peacock's complete.
yeah. The silver lettuce cup.
Right. Yeah.
But if
Oh my
if
God.
Chattar Lal heard that all the way over here, or even if you heard it in Oxford, it was either incredibly egregious what Indiana Jones did, or else he did a little bit of research right before he showed up.
Right. It's like when Lao Che called him famous archaeologist at the beginning. Like maybe this is that guy we keep hearing about who's like messing everything up all around the world, and he's getting in trouble in Honduras, and everywhere
Yeah.
he goes, and getting his parts chopped off, and yeah. But he found her Hachi.
Well, I
be nice.
have another question. I'd love to get Jay's take on this here. We've been discussing, what role Shiva plays in the movie. Much like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, Yahweh kind of had a controlling hand of the whole thing. And, the shaman or the village seems to think that Shiva has delivered Indy to them so that he can go to Pankot Palace and rescue the children and get the Sankara stones back. What do you think of that? Do you think that there's sort of a religious deity that's controlling everything here?
There's always, the first part of it, what you said, kind of like, that's how a lot of religion. I'm actually not in that particular religion, so I couldn't tell you for sure, but most people are very optimistic. That's how they look at things. Like your plane didn't crash by, it's not just a coincidence. It was fate. It was supposed to happen, and you're here. And then that's exactly what you said was right. But the thing that didn't make sense was the aftermath of the Kali, like how the sacrificial thing that was going on that. That just that was kind of like too much made up different story. It just didn't go anything with the storyline of the actual script of the Hindu beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So what you're saying is they made that up. That whole rip out the heart thing.
Yeah, the funniest thing is the I think his name is Molaram, the Amrish Puri, the villain in the movie. He's those phrases became like really funny joke, like like give me your heart, like that little phrase in India. That was like every time you would go there, like you go to like a club scene or somewhere, like just like give me your heart, it was just like the funniest thing ever. It went on for a long time.
Oh my god, it's hysterical.
It's like Kalima Dede.
I love that.
It's like Italians quoting The Godfather or something.
Yep, exactly. You know what?
Take the cannoli.
This phrase became very, very popular. So
Oh my god.
right there.
Have you, Jay? Have you seen all the Indiana Jones movies?
I've seen them long time ago. I've just seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. What is the most recent one with the Shay? What's it?
It's the
Crystal
Peacock's
from-
Complaint. Yeah, Peacock's Complaint.
And that's the one. That's the one. Is the most recent one. But I mean, I've seen them so long ago. I don't know them minute by minute, like you guys are saying.
I was gonna say we don't have businesses to run.
Yeah, that's right. We have some time on our hands.
We have some time. No, but what would you say is your favorite, or can you put them in order?
I like the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think that one was really good.
Ding 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 ding
I
ding ding
agree.
ding.
Right answer.
I'm trying to think. What was the other one?
The Last Crusade, where they go for the
Last
Holy
Crusade.
Grail.
Is that the one where the guy punches him and says, "This is how we say goodbye in Austria"? Versus is that the one?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so bad at remembering movies. I just watch them all over again. I'm like, oh, this is the scene. That would have to be number 2.
Okay.
And I think the last one would be the Temple of Doom because that thing messed everything up.
Sure. And you're absolutely right. There's 3 Indiana Jones movies.
Perfect.
Well, I know that in the next minute there is a infamous scene with chilled monkey brains.
All right.
We're getting a little bit ahead.
That's okay.
But I feel like we need to take advantage of our expert here.
Yeah, the judges are saying it's okay. They're giving me the high sign that it's okay to go to the next minute.
Jay, what do you think? Dessert, chilled, or room temperature?
This scene was so wrong for different reasons. Not just from a humane point of view. It's just that in Hindu religion there is a Hanuman god who's like the king of gods, and like having chill brain of that was kind of like ugh. That was just bad taste in comedy there for a certain part of the world. It just didn't do very well.
Yeah.
And then this actual scene, the guy's eating it, and you see like he's slurping the little red, whatever, the ketchup or something. But I was just like, so wrong.
And dessert, no less. I mean, it's dessert.
I can't imagine that being like sweet or enjoyable or anything. It's not like.
Would you have to cook it first? Like, would you have to take the brain out and cook it, and then put it, like, chill it and put it back in, or is it like a carpaccio?
Jeez. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I think there's a lot of questions about, were the Beatles roasted? Were they put in a tandoori oven? Like, are they're kind of crunchy and slurpy?
Yeah.
I don't know. The soup is devoid of any vegetables. I got a problem with that.
Yeah. That's not good for your diet.
Yeah, you'd have to chill them and then put them back in. I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah, the whole thing's weird.
There are other foods like that, aren't there? Where you like, I don't know what I'm trying to think of. Where you like take it out of the thing and then cook it and then put it back in where it's naturally supposed to be.
No, they do with egg,
Yeah.
egg yolk. They take the yolk out, make something with it, and then put it back in there.
Yeah.
Right.
But egg yolk is actually flavored. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like deviled eggs or something.
Yeah.
You take the yolk out, do something with it, and then you put it right back in the egg where it's supposed to be.
This has nothing to do with anything, but I just want to ask, Jay, how do you make a great chai iced tea?
Patience is the key thing there, man. Now, it's fairly simple. The ingredients are very, very simple. It's just that if you boil it, then you kind of like ruin it because that's when you make it really quick. But if you keep the temperature up to boil, then reduce a little bit and just let it sit there for like 12 hours, like cold brew it in a refrigerator. You'll get full flavor masala chai or masala iced tea.
Oh, awesome.
That's the trick. And
That's what I've been doing wrong all along. I boil it.
Oh, Jerry.
And then if you boil it, it kills the nutritional contents of it. So that's, you're not supposed to boil. The thing here is this, it's a slow process. I mean, like at home, like when I want to make chai, I just go in there and I boil it and I just put milk and cream in there and it's done. But when we make large portion of it at the restaurant or something, we would actually do it like that. We would brew it and would just let it sit there. And then this will be ready next morning versus, so everything always has to be made like 12 hours in advance.
Wow.
So
do you make it every day for the next day?
Iced tea, we make them every day. The milk tea, which is the masala chai, that's the one we almost make it like every hour because that one goes bad like almost instantly. Sometimes we don't even make it unless somebody orders it. We just make it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, though.
Yeah.
I wish I knew that much detail about the monkey brain part. I'm trying to figure out how to cook it too,
It's possible nobody does. It's possible like some special effects prop guys know the recipe and that's it.
I'm embarrassed to say I did not discover the delights of Indian cuisine until I was like 24 or 22 or something like that. I mean, growing up in Cleveland and then going to school in Indiana, I mean, it's like, I feel like the only Indians we had were the baseball team. And this, no, and I just, that's terrible. And I just did not, I mean, I can't get enough of it now. And fortunately, living in Los Angeles, there are a lot of really, really good restaurants that are almost as good as yours, Jay.
Thank you. Reluctantly, thank you. No, I'm just kidding. Now, one of the things that I've noticed, we do a lot of, I actually did a lot of research before we opened my second location. What's happening lately, and like even though I'm in these new restaurants, my restaurants have been there for only a decade. The previous experience is that when we used to target market, it was like 50 plus. That was our target market. Some people travel around the world, they love the cuisine and they want to try it, unless they watch the Temple of Doom, then this is all ruined. No, but
the chili cheese fries.
There you go. No, but recently, what I've noticed is that the millennials love it. The younger generation, it's amazing. They're doing their 7th, 11th birthday in an Indian restaurant. I'll be like, seriously, what happened to Chuck E. Cheese and other places? But they do it, man. I mean, it's interesting that it has really, really picked up. And the other which is really one of the reasons why this movie didn't make sense or ruffle some feathers in India, because most people are vegetarian, and Indian food has extensive vegetarian menu, and we are getting a lot of people that are finding out that you can be vegan, not even just vegetarian. Without cream milk, you can have really, really healthy, tasty meals, and you can eat it every day and not feel guilty. So, I'm not a vegetarian, so I don't really think it's that good, but I have my customers, they love it, and I know there are some great dishes. Like, for example, we have one dish that we make with cabbage, and it's like I would not eat cabbage, but I'm like I would eat it only if it's prepared that way. So
Oh, sure.
Wow.
So Indian food has gotten a lot of popularity because of a lot of health. And then there's an Ayurvedic. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the herbal benefits of all these different spices and stuff. That has taken, there's a lot of articles out there, and people do see the benefit of it. Natural preservatives in the food, and makes it really, really healthy for you to eat this kind of food every day. So eat something tasty, but it's beneficial for you.
Nice. That's what I need. Tasty and beneficial. Well, does anybody have anything else for minute 45?
No, but I went from being like grossed out to just starving.
I know, really. Yeah, you're staring at all this disgusting stuff, and now I'm starving.
Yeah, I'm going to chutney cheese.
Oh, my God. Well, on that note, Jay, thank you so much for joining us. This has been awesome for this last
You're
couple of
very
minutes.
welcome. I had a great time, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Setting us straight.
Yes, we needed your authenticity to verify that we were right to be weirded out by all this stuff. And everybody out there, if you want to be weirded out by us some more, please visit us at all our regular places, IndianaJonesMinute.com. Find us on Facebook at Indiana Jones Minute and the Listeners Crusade. We're on Twitter at Indiana Jones Min. Go to TeePublic. Find our shirts. Buy some shirts over at TeePublic. You can check me out on Caddyshack Minute. We're doing the same thing over there, but with Caddyshack, which also has some disgusting food in it. Does it? That's probably not true. It's got a Coke. It's got a cheeseburger. It's got a hamburger.
Baby Ruth.
It's got a Baby Ruth.
Yeah.
Which I just discovered is a Baby Rut, by the way. It's not even a Baby Ruth in that movie. Anyway. But most importantly of all, please. Jerry, you get to say the phone number. You love saying the phone number.
Most important. I love saying the phone number. We have an Indiana Jones Minute hotline, 24 hours. If you can't sleep, if you just woke up, if you're really hungry, like Pete, call us at 724 Lost Ark. 724, Lost Ark. Place your order and leave a comment for us or a question, and we might play it on the show.
Yes. Allow 7 to 8 years for delivery.
Or barf. You can barf.
Yeah, just barf into the phone.
Don't do that, please. I gotta listen to it. Now everybody's gonna do that.
I know. Great. Thanks. Offer not valid. Thank you all for listening. Please come back on Monday where we will tackle minute 46 of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Feel completely satiated.
Yeah.
Soup?
Eyeballs?